what you must avoid if you don't want to die young. The one thing you must avoid if you want to live a longer life, and that thing is antibiotic abuse. Before I tell us the deadly effects, two deadly effects of this antibiotic abuse, I would like us to know what this abuse is all about. Abuse simply means overusage or underusage of these antibiotics. By the time you use these antibiotics, high grammages of these antibiotics over a long time, your body is being affected. That is drug abuse. And by the time you use these antibiotics, lower grammages over a long time, it's also called drug abuse. Your body is also being affected, which is drug abuse. So how does this drug abuse affect your system? Two deadly major things that this drug abuse does to your system. Number one, it causes antibiotic resistant infection. Antibiotic resistant infections are infections that exist as a result of inability of the antibiotics we take to fight the infection that causes the present disease, and that is antibiotic resistant infection. How does it happen? This thing happens when you've done antibiotics abuse over time and the parasite, which is the bacteria, become resistant to the antibiotics, that when there is sickness that you need antibiotics to take so that the sickness will be taken care of, if you take the antibiotics, it doesn't work again. What makes the antibiotics not to work on those infections again? That bacteria has taken much of these antibiotics you are giving to it to an extent that to an extent that it undergoes what we call gene mutation. That is, it transforms from the gene A that it has into another gene that the antibiotics cannot see. The gene A it has is the gene that if you give that antibiotics, it kills the bacteria because it has a gene A. But by the time it changes its structure, changes itself into another gene and chromosome, say gene B, the antibiotics that you have cannot see this gene again and cannot kill it. And that is what we call antibiotic resistance. If you throw the antibiotics, it will tell your dish nothing will happen because the gene you know is gene A, for instance. The bacteria is not having that gene A again. It has transformed, moved to a different gene called gene B, for instance. So if you give antibiotics, it cannot hit it because it's no longer carrying that gene A, it's now carrying gene B. And that is antibiotic resistant. If you hit the antibiotics, the bacteria will tell you, nothing will happen. And that is what we call antibiotic resistance. And you know when you have this antibiotic resistance, you take medications, it cannot work again because the parasite has gained immunity against the antibiotics. It cannot work. And you know when you take medications and it's not working again, that means you are just a step to your grave. It's only God that can come and deliver you. Another second thing that antibiotic does, deadly thing that it does, is spread of resistant infection. Yes. By the time one bacteria has developed resistance to a number of antibiotics, that bacteria will not stop there. It will try to transfer the same threat, the same gene, that thing that makes bacteria strong, that antibiotic cannot kill it. It will transfer the same gene and chromosome to other brothers and sisters so that they will now be equipped. Whenever antibiotic come, they will do a dish. That means if you have all the bacteria in the system, all the bacteria, when they cause infection and you take antibiotics, all of them will tell you nothing will happen. And when all of them tell you nothing will happen, none of them, the antibiotic can even hit.